He's got a fucking crowd upstairs. Alright, everybody make it loud for Iain. Fucking, how do you pronounce your last name, dude? Lanivich. What's up, baby? Now, if you didn't know, Iain could be spelled with one I or two. I was given two eyes because I was born premature, and they had to put me in two incubators. One for me, and one for my penis. Told my wife that joke on our first date. Probably should have been a red flag. But I guess it piqued her curiosity because we just got back from a family trip where all of my dependents have an opinion. But when I have one, I'm selfish. So I get jealous of people that take solo trips. Did it once. To jail. Now I'm not talking about an unexpected overnight stay like you might be familiar with, sir. I'm talking about an all-inclusive one-week trip to the Slammer for selling a $5 joint to an undercover cop. At the Wiggles concert. It was like, toot, toot, chugga, chugga, big cop car for all you Wiggles fans out there. Wife and kids were already inside. Thought I was helping out another dad. I flashed my diaper bag. That's code for Dad's got weed. He flashed his badge. Obviously, he didn't have kids, or else he'd understand the need to get high before these types of events. Fucking Wiggles. Had some damn good shit in that diaper bag, too. Literally. Now it's legal in Michigan. Everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by pot smokers, like the table in the back. You know, I was looking at a map. Indiana is literally surrounded by all states that are legal, right? You know, maybe on April 20th, you could all just stand outside and get a contact buzz or something like that. You know, I read a study, in legal states about pot smokers under the age of 30. Do you know 86% have never rolled a joint? 80% have only purchased marijuana legally. And nearly 100% of us old schoolers think they're all a bunch of privileged potheads. Born with a golden doob in their mouth. A whole new generation of white-collar stoners. Make sure you wear your suit and tie-dye before you light up, bro. Have your hourly worker pack your bowl for you so you don't get your hands dirty. Now I know why you vape. You know, I was talking to a younger guy at an event recently. Black tie dress code. Mid-conversation, he tilts his head forward and just starts sucking. On what I thought was a lapel pin on his tux. Who's this guy think he is? Secret Agent James Bond? Because that's like one of his gadgets. You know, exploding pens, rocket launching cigarettes, undercover vape pens. Like, step aside, 007, because Agent 420 here is gonna need some double cheeseburgers. You know, back in my day, if you wanted to smoke pot, you had to work for it. My dad thought I was taking an interest in his tools and workbench in the garage. I was out there MacGyvering pipes and shit so I could smoke. Building my own bowls and bongs. One time I almost got caught. My cousin stayed the night and I heard a scream. I go running down the hall, turn the corner. He's got a swarm of bees attacking him. Now he's fine, but my dad was freaking out. Like, how'd all these bees get in the house? Well, it turns out there was a little circle cut out of the screen in the bedroom. Sorry, cuz. I kind of needed that to lay it in my invention so I didn't get shit in my mouth. You know, smoking pot as a teenager was kind of like going to trade school. You learned, there was an educational component. We learned to transform pot cans into paraphernalia, bathtubs into bong tubs. And if we were nervous about getting caught, we would exhale through an empty toilet paper roll filled with dryer sheets. And we were the slackers, you know, not living up to our full potential. I think we ought to give the OG potheads some credit. They should have been earning credits, or at least an extra credit sticker, scratch and sniff. We didn't have any maps or apps or in the legal states billboards to tell us how to get it. We had beepers. She still has hers. Now, every time I get in the car, all I see is dispensaries and lawyers. If the only information we had access to is what's on those billboards, we'd have everything we need to get blown out, blacked out, and bailed out. Like taking the scenic route through Loserville. I'm all for the legalization of marijuana. I just don't understand why they had to over-complexify the shopping process. I used to ask if you had any, you'd say yes, I'd give you money, you'd give me a bag, that was it, no options. So I was excited to go to my first dispensary, only to be met with an overwhelming buffet of options. Pre-rolls, edibles, topicals, Lunchables, with Capri Sun, for cottonmouth protection. And when they start calling weed a flower, no offense to all the pussies in the room, but I don't want all weed to sound like a pussy, all beautiful and blooming and shit. What happened to cool names like reefer and ganja and dope? Because those names got you pussy. If you guys end up voting on it here, look for those questions on the ballot. You know how much play Dre and Snoop got for The Chronic? Would have been a whole different story if that album was called The Flower. If the G, it ain't nothing but a G thing, stood for gardening. Let's test it out. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Doggy Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to plant some trees, so back on up, cause we about to dig shit up. Give me the garden rake first so I can remove the rubble, fertilize the soil so it don't get in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby, just germinating weed and daisies. The Planetary is the venue that pays me. I'm Ian, and I gotta go pick up my wife and kids from the Wiggle show down the street, so I'm out. Peace, Indy.
It's kind of cute that you guys just drive up to Goldwater.